So here's the real question. How do dentists like you, who aren't willing to let insurance dictate how you will run your practice, who want to create incredibly profitable practices without sacrificing your time or sanity, how do you create the strategies to ensure your practice not only survives but thrives in the 21st century? That's the blaring question, and Dr. Steve Schalintz is here to provide the answers. Welcome to Dental Practice Freedom Radio.
What is up, everybody? This is Dr. Steve Schalintz, and I want to welcome you back to another episode of Dental Practice Freedom Radio. And I've been recording quite a few podcast episodes lately, and this one literally just came to me. It's 9 o'clock on Sunday, and I saw a story on Facebook, or one of the things that one of my buddies had posted, not in the dental space, but about paying it forward. And I immediately had a flashback to when I was just getting started. And if you guys have listened to other podcast episodes, especially early on, I'm going to go back to it. I talked about the importance of having the right mentors and getting the right help and having the right coaches. It's one of the reasons that I love coaching the way that I do and really working one-on-one with clients and in small groups, because I think that concept is so important for somebody to be able to help others. And so when I'm reading this Facebook message, it was one of my buddies was helping two teenagers that had a flat tire, and they didn't know what to do, and so he helped them, and the teenagers was like, hey, how did you learn how to do this, and thanks so much, and is there anything we can do? And he said in the Facebook story, he's like, eventually there's going to be somebody that needs your help, and all I ask you to do is obviously pay it forward, and when that person needs your help, help them. And I thought back to when I went to Spear Education. And this was about 4 months after practice ownership. I was doing all the Spear stuff, and so many ways to tie the story. So I always try to have a theme for the podcast, right? But I remember going to, it was an occlusion workshop. And I remember getting taught by Dr. Gary DeWood. If anybody knows Gary DeWood, he's an amazing human being. And I was really geeking out on the occlusion aspect of it. And I still love the philosophy of occlusion, and I love talking occlusion with people. And I knew that he knew kind of the circle that I was in, and I was just getting started. And I was like, I want to pick his brain. I really want to get to know him and see his history and his story and get to spend some time with him. But I don't know how to do that. There's 150 dentists here, or there's 50. It was a workshop. But he's not going to know who I am, and how would I even approach this? And I thought of a book. It's called The Aladdin Factor. And another mentor had recommended this book. And so I was reading this, and the premise of the book is if you don't ask, nobody's going to be able to help you. And so I figured, you know what, I'm just going to shoot an email over. I had his email. I don't even remember how I had his email, but I shot an email over to Gary DeWood, and I said, hey, you have no idea who I am, but I would really like to get dinner with you after the workshop's over. Would you be willing to do that? And he said, actually, yeah, I would love to do that. I actually think he knew who I was because he had actually talked to Dr. Michael Schuster at the Schuster Center, and I was going through the Schuster Center at the time, and I think there was actually some talk about, there's this young dentist and he's doing X, Y, and Z, and you might want to meet him. So I didn't know any of that. And when I got there, I just was able to pick his brain and talk to him about stuff. In his exact words, I said, I don't know how I'm ever going to be able to thank you. And he said, there's going to eventually be a day where you're going to be in a position that a younger dentist, or even an older dentist, doesn't matter, but there's going to be a dentist that looks to you and says, hey, can you help me? And the only thing I ask of you is that you extend your hand and say, yes, I'd love to help you. And so that story, that message has played through my head over and over and over. And I think, one of the reasons that I do this podcast is if you guys can get one little piece of information, and I try to keep these episodes so short just so you can get that one little bite-sized piece, and I'm able to impact the dentists that are listening to this in a way that maybe they haven't been impacted before, then I know I'm doing my job. And I've had, dentists where I'm happy to help any way possible. And because I do feel very, very passionate about what I do, why I do it, my move more to coaching and away from as much technical dentistry and this whole journey. And that's what this podcast is all about. It's documenting this journey that I'm going from, associate to practice owner to coach to figuring out what the practice is going to look like and figure out how to make all this work and figure out what other aspects of dentistry appeal to me and entrepreneurship in general. And the reality is, like, if you guys are in a situation to help other people, you want to help other people. It's the only way you can actually grow. Another mentor of mine, Russell Brunson, talks about that. There's a difference between growth and contribution, and you can only grow to a certain level. And then eventually, in order for you to grow more, you have to switch from growth for growth's sake to contribution for growth. And that's the pay it forward philosophy. And so, it's just kind of an impromptu podcast episode, but I'm telling you that story just hit me, and I was thinking of Dr. DeWood and my experiences having the right mentors in my life at the right times when I needed them have gotten me to a level that, frankly, if you were to tell me where I was at by 32 going on 33, I would be in this position, doing what I'm doing, having the opportunities that I have. I would have said, you're nuts. Like, there's no way I'd be able to do that. And it's not me. It's the mentors that I've had. Getting the right coaches has been absolutely pivotal for me. Learning what I can from those coaches. And then when that dynamics, kind of played itself out, go find the next coach, go find the next mentor, always be learning, always be growing, always be developing, always keeping that vision in place of where you want to go. And then finding the right people at the right times when you need them. And then doing the same thing for others, helping them along. You can't go where you want to go. You're reaching up. You're trying to get this vision, but you also want to have your other hand down to be able to pull others up with you. So hopefully you got some value out of this one. It was not really like a clinical tip or a technical tip today, but I think this concept is so important. So if you're listening to this and there's somebody that you've been wanting to help and you didn't know how, just offer a hand. Just say, I'd love to be able to help you with the thing you're struggling with, or maybe you see somebody that's struggling and just lend a hand. Okay. So take care. As always, you can go to dentalpracticefreedomradio.com, get your free case acceptance master pack. You can go to dentalsalessecrets.com and go to my exclusive free training on how to become an expert in your industry and crush it in your practice with case acceptance. So you guys take care. Have a great day when you're listening to this, and I'll see you at the next episode.
Thank you so much for listening to this episode on Dental Practice Freedom Radio with Dr. Steve Schultz. We'll see you on the next episode.